So for the next 20 minutes to half an hour, we are going to be going over this track here. I made this track a couple months ago for T-Rex Arms, and they were looking for something inspired by the movie Tenet. And so I had about a week turnaround time. Actually, I think it was less than that, but I had about a week, and so I essentially I had seen the movie already and loved the score. Um, and I wanted to kind of make something Tenet inspired anyway. I just haven't had time or the reason to do so. So when they said that, I was like, heck yeah, I'm down. And so I went, binged the soundtrack again, and went and watched some YouTube videos. There's a lot of great resources on some of the synth design and stuff like that people were doing. And so I just did a bunch of research and then started throwing stuff together. I think the first thing I started working on was this sound here, which I made with Serum. I forget what I used as kind of the base for it. It was something one of the bass sounds in Serum. I don't remember which one exactly it was. And then I just changed a bunch of stuff within the synth plugin in itself. And then where the magic happens is the automation, which actually, oh yeah, so I did filter cutoff automation and then the fine tune animation here. This is kind of what that looks like and sounds like. So that's kind of that main theme there. One of the things with this that's tricky is not actually copying anything that's copyrightable. So any melody or anything like that, but making it sound reminiscent of. And that's kind of a tricky balance to find sometimes, often. This one I think I did fairly well. It's pretty different. Like if you listen to them, actually they're very different, but this definitely makes you think of that sound. And then I have it paired here with one that's down the octave, because that high pluck was a little too much, and so it just transitions here. So I have the high one bounced out over here, and it just automates into, there's a high cut frequency filter on here, and it just kind of morphs together. Oh, next thing we got going on, and I think what we'll do is we'll go in chronological order. We'll just go from the beginning of the track to the end. Sometimes I jump around, but I think we'll just literally go chronological. I got two things going on here. I use Splice to get all my impact sounds and stuff like that. But we got a drop, and then we have a nice little splash impact sound. And I've paired those together. So that's that. There's this, I think I got this from Arcade. I think, yeah, that's just actually, that should be faded right there. This is just a sound I made in Arcade or Serum or somewhere and just bounced it out. This is something from Splice. What is this? Oh, this is just a drum. Or not a drum. It's just really cool. I don't remember exactly what I did to this, but there is overdrive and a faded EQ on here. Just passing up. And it's just really cool. It sounds like like a door hinge or something. It's just like, it's very, very cool. And has that kind of an eerie, my primary goal with making this track was kind of an eerie undertone, because it's very much, Tenet feels just a little uneasy all the time. I think that's, this is another thing. This is from Serum again. I used mostly Serum for this project. Again, this sound is eerie. I think there's some automation on this guy too. just distorted, eerie pitch bend stuff. I'm going to solo all these lead instruments. So first of all, I organize everything based by typically lead instruments, bass, drums, effects, and that's it. Anyway, so I'm going to solo out the lead instruments here. That's just cool. I just think that sounds cool. So we're going along here. Everything drops out. This is where it goes into the boom, boom, ba-dum, boom, boom, ba-dum section, which is just a heavy 808, some drums, and this sound. That's all it is, and that kind of slowly builds. So it sounds... yeah, it's really simple. The thing about this project was I actually wasn't at my studio. I was back home in Vermont, and all I had was my laptop speakers, which granted this new 2020 laptop has much better frequency range than some laptops. But I didn't even have studio monitors. I did have these, so I used these, but most of what I was doing was just from my laptop speakers. And so listening to this 808 on these monitors, I would have done things differently, but sometimes you don't have that luxury. So yeah, it's just kind of... Oh, this little stutter is important. This little pattern is reminiscent of Tenet. That's it. Then we have some drums. Ooh. This. Okay, so these drums, this is insane. New favorite plugin, like hands down. It's amazing. Hans Zimmer, from what I understand, actually worked with these guys on this plugin with UJam. And which makes sense because the drums are epic. And essentially, there's just different... It's very similar to arcade in that it's packed with a bunch of samples, essentially. So you just find what you like, and you kind of learn how it's laid out and stuff. And then there's just tons and tons of different stuff. And making like cinematic drums is very time consuming. This saves me so much time. Because I'm able to just go in, find kind of the sound palette I'm looking for, and then just start playing around. And there's hits and stuff, and there's certain... You just play with it, and it's awesome. Okay, so that's kind of this section. We don't have to overcomplicate this. We do need to talk about this, though. This is actually a pizza box. These are just some hats. So this pizza snare is actually from down here because I had pizza that day or the day before or something, and I'll just hit random things around the house and see what they sound like just for fun. And this pizza box sounded really cool. And originally what I was going to do is actually play the rhythm that had in my head, and I was going to like, put a sub bass on it and distort it and make it sound like a cinematic drum. I didn't get very far with that because I quickly... I don't know. I could have gone somewhere with it, but I wasn't... it wasn't... Oh yeah, I tried like reversing it and messing with that. I don't think I ended up using much of anything else, but a particular sound, one of these hits in here, I isolated it out, sampled it, and it just sounds like a little rim shot snare. But I really like it, and it's one of my favorite parts of this section. When this thing comes in, it just hits right. It's just nice. It's so satisfying. Okay, I'm a nerd. Moving on. So we got a bunch of effects here coming up. riser. This is from Arcade. Oh, system overload. Okay. Now we get into this section. The build before the next drop-ish thing. We just have a simple serum again, little pluck thing. And this is just rising up. Got this automated. Low cut. And high. Oh yeah, that's why. So this kind of weird, like, just, it feels, this is where the entire track starts to go into, like, just like the movie, all of a sudden you don't know what's happening. And this kind of has that vibe in the sense that you don't really know where the rhythm's going for some of it. There's just like some things. There's a drone. This is a drone here. Just on a single note that I got. It's a guitar. Again, this is just another serum. Automated serum. So much automation in this. And then these again are just doing their little plucky thing. Then we have strings come in. Yeah, we just got full strings. We got that little door hinge sound. I'll just start bringing stuff back in. Bring that back in. The claps were really important to me, because if you've seen Tenet or heard the score, there's these big clap sounds right off the bat in the first track. That's all this is. I think it's a clap that I got from Splice. I put a bunch of reverb on it, compressed it, and that was literally it. It's one of the things I was willing to spend a lot of time on, but then ended up being really happy with just that and went with it. The big drums here, again, using the SE drums. This thing just hits. I got a little snare build thing from Jason Evigan's Splice Pack. Shout out Jason Evigan. So then this thing just starts building. We got this guitar sound here. Oh, so cool. Got that from Splice. Then this thing builds up. Then we're going into the next section here. Just gets crazier. Drops out, except for this and this, basically. Oh, this thing. So again, everything, this track is fairly dynamic in its arrangement. It's in your face, and then it just like kind of disappears and then builds up and comes back, and it's just kind of a roller coaster. This thing, just a distorted strat from Logic, arpeggiated, kind of annoying, honestly. Some of these sounds are just annoying, but when they're together they just sound cool. What is this? Oh yeah, this is SE strings. Same people who made SE drums, obviously. Yeah, just have this automated. Kind of gives like a guitar strum feel, which is cool. So anyway, we have this guitar thing. We got that little string thing going on. Distortion sounds again, that bass, and some effects. So that happens. This is where we come into the reverse or part of the track. I wanted to absolutely have a reverse section near the end of the track. That's where this comes in. This thing is just a reversed splice sample. It's really cool. Some drums. More of the SE drum stuff. The claps come back here. And that's it. We actually have more pizza snares here. So that's the pizza box again. When I listen to this track, I'm like, man, this thing is so complicated. And then when I actually like look at it, I'm like, there's actually not a lot here, which is what I've been learning. And people always say it. Creative people always say it. Musicians, producers, songwriters, photographers. It like simplicity is so fundamental. In my opinion, though, you have to go down the rabbit hole of being overly, you grab everything. You grab all the colors and paint the canvas. You have to go down that road before you learn how to approach something simply. I used to make tracks, like this one has 49 tracks, and that's a bunch of them are unused. I used to make songs and tracks with hundreds, 150 easily. Because I just want every single sound in there. And like this is a fairly complicated track, but it's pretty simple. In terms of what it, like me 5 years ago would have done, it's very simple, and it has key elements, focuses on the key elements, a couple things that work together to make it fuller, and that's it. I feel like this is kind of it. This was a ton of fun to work on, and I'm kind of sad it's over because this was just such a fun track, and pairing it with the video that they made was so cool. I do want to take a moment to show you kind of the final product. Okay, so this is the intro of the video. Also, huge shout out to Charles from T-Rex. He's the guy who edited this, and he also chopped up the song that I gave him. He chopped it up and blended it together really beautifully. Really impressive, really well done on his part. Huge shout out to him. But this is the kind of short film Tenet inspiration thing. That bag looks heavy. So that's the track with the video. I'm so glad I got to be a part of this project. Me making this track was amazing learning experience for me, and then also being able to it's not just audio now. Like it's paired with something else that um is incredibly creative and unique and dynamic. And it just makes for such a really cool collaborative project, and very happy that I got to be a part of it. Oh, also quick note before I go. Uh, you can actually find this on iTunes and Spotify, Apple Music, all that. It's on YouTube as well. I'll link to the T-Rex video. So there was some request for this song to actually be put out so people could just listen to it. So I did put it out. It's also on my website. So if you would like to use this song, you can get a non-exclusive lease license for it. And so, yeah, just let me know. Go listen to it. Check it out. Or hit me up on my website if you'd like to use it. Thank you guys for watching. If you have any questions, please let me know if you'd like me to cover anything in more detail. I'm not going to make another video, but for future ones, I'd like to keep all that in mind. Thank you guys for watching. This was fun, and I hope to be doing more of these as I make more tracks.